Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Student of the Game. I am Kyle Nash, the Student of the Game, and if you're here, chances are you like talking sport, and we're glad to do it with you here tonight. Just jumped off of a special edition of the Duval Dive. Hope you got a chance to check that out. If you didn't, do it later. Special thanks to Locked On Jaguars, Anthony Wiggins, T. Wiggs, as we know him in the common space, so to speak there. The only guy I know who could tell you who's good at running a fade while being able to cut you a fade at his shop. Again, can't respect him anymore. Great show on that. Check that out later. Of course, we'll still have the regular airing of the Duval Dive on Friday. So there's those notes for those who need them. Now, here's my thing. If I may be so bold. We have, of course, with talk of the WNBA draft, I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked that Caitlin Clark, of course, is headed to the Indiana Fever. Let all the silliness ensue about talking about salaries and how much she would get paid here versus there and all of that. That's not the topic of tonight's podcast. Please look at the past episode with Tokyo Jameson and Essex O'Brien if you want to get into that conversation, because we chopped that up into a fine powder that I think is certainly worth your time. I wouldn't say snort it all in. That's the wrong tone, but I think you get the concept all the way around. And first of all, let me check out my guy in the comments, Mickey Delaney. Let's get ready to bleeding rumble. I'm with that. Of course, I edited it for television, but listen, an honor, joy, and privilege to have commenters aboard. You, of course, yourself, Mickey, being a regular amongst the Sertoba media crew at large, man. So thanks for that. But let me get into this. I know that there has been waxing poetic analysis left, right, up, down, and sideways surrounding LeBron James's son, right? Bronny James. I think the piece that is getting missed in all there's a big piece that's getting missed in all the analysis, right? I know that people are concerned about Bronny's prowess, his ability, as an NBA player. Will he translate at the next level? It's pretty clear that the consensus is that whoever drafts him would put him in the G League and hope to acquire LeBron as part of the deal, so to speak, to get the father and son dynamic for the two of them to be on the same roster and share a floor and all that other stuff. I don't know how that works, tying into the G League, all that other stuff. I don't know. That's the problem for the franchise that would presumably draft Bronny. And I know that there are people complaining left, right, up, down, mid of center, what have you, about the topic. But I'm trying to think of the best way to word this, but like here's the thing. Here's the piece that I feel is getting missed. When Bronny got hit with the cardiac arrest issue there and had the medical situation that he did, it's kind of public knowledge, easy to observe that he hasn't been the same player since. Right. He's a bit slower, hasn't averaged that many points. Some of his statistics, such as they aren't as impressive as prospects looking to make an impact immediately in the NBA. That Bronny is going to be riding his father's shoulders to get into the league. Let's pretend all that is accurate, and I kind of think it's some valid observation there. But to accuse LeBron of just straight up nepotism, trying to get his kid a free contract, all of that stuff, I don't think is a perfect comparison. Let's be honest. Bronny was handed a raw deal, getting that cardiac arrest when he did, taking so much of his college basketball life and setting him back so far that it did. LeBron James has an opportunity to use his influence, to be involved with his son, to counteract that setback in his career, to rescue Bronny's basketball career trajectory Not only, again, using his influence, but being in a position where he could also personally coach Bronny to be the player he needs to be to get up to speed a little faster. To have an opportunity to share that basketball IQ from a trusted source. In other words, if I'm LeBron, if I'm his dad, if I have the opportunity to correct an anomaly in my son's life that was bestowed upon him in completely unfair fashion, you better bet that entire ass, as they say, that I would do the same exact thing. And there's no way I'm in any position to where I'm correcting LeBron James for doing that. Hopefully it all works out, and hopefully Bronny has at least a somewhat successful career. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but that's over my head. After all, I constantly say that basketball, the NBA, is my third language, even though I've officially guests adopted about it on radio in Melbourne with my guy Mark Moses on the Mark Moses Show, and a man who is now dangerously worried that I might have even surpassed his own NBA ability and analysis. Everybody's favorite tool from the Huddle Up Podcast Network, and a man I've been doing business with for what, 10, 15 years? I don't know, but it's about to be a fun pod talking some basketball. What's going on, EJ Christian? Is that a golf cap, sir?
Is that a what?
Is that a golf cap? What are you wearing?
No. It's a regular cap.
Oh, okay.
Cap.
I couldn't tell. The shadows of the security van are blending in with your gray hat, bro.
Right. And well, black, number one. It's faded, though. But number two,
how is that with you having a gray hat?
And number two,
if you're black, anyways. No.
Yeah. And a little behind the curtain for the folks on this podcast. We will get to meet for the first time finally after all this years you discussed, you just mentioned in person for the first time this weekend.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, look, it wasn't my fault last time.
Oh, that's
it wasn't my fault this time.
No, we're not playing that game. You keep clinging to that.
You're still doing this
twice to a place.
We're still doing this. We're still doing this.
Yeah, we were still bestowing fact. Yeah, this isn't the Earnestly Speaking podcast where we spew stuff about car accidents and politics and then throw whatever sport. No, we're dealing facts here, sir.
We don't have a conversation, buddy. Kyle, how you doing, man?
Hey, listen, joking aside, Earnestly Speaking Podcast, good time. Check that out.
Absolutely.
He'll be talking with Zach the Degenerate about proper analysis and preview of the finals because he doesn't want to do it with a credible analyst who actually goes to games.
I was trying to find one. Couldn't find one. I mean, well,
it's kind of like you're trying to find a Giants fan on this panel, right? Anyways, this guy. See, I like what you're trying to do there. It's a shame I'm better at it. Anyways,
apparently.
And listen, no, good to have you on, Ben. First of all,
and by the way, before we get started too, also, I'm right now from a little not distracted, but a little emotional. I'm right now in the middle of the fourth quarter watching my Miami Heat go Heat pitch, and the Sixers playing the fourth quarter now, tie game. So,
wait, it's in the fourth quarter now.
Just started, yeah, fourth quarter. Just started.
Okay, because I figured I kind of hoped that the game would end while we're talking about it, and I might be able to sneak into a take. Yeah. Please no F-bombs. If you can move.
No. I told you when I come on the show, I'm well behaved. Well behaved.
Occasionally.
On my turf, though, obviously all guns blazing, of course. But here, I'm the guest here. I'm
never going to forget the show where you came on after promising that and basically was like, "Okay, I should no cursing." EJ Christian, hey Kyle, how to beep are you? That was,
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
No,
that's pretty bad, though. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, no, you're saying go Heat, bitch. I'm on record saying no Heat, bitch.
You encourage that. So you don't get mad at me if I say that. You encourage that. You get mad if I don't say it at all. On any
No. I'm not mad at you saying go Heat, bitch. I'm just saying I don't think they're going to win tonight.
Well, I was very much 50-50 to a loss. And then when I saw that Terry Rozier was out tonight for the game, I was like, that's not a good sign. But they were up big. They've been up most of the game, but Philadelphia came back in the third quarter. So this game plays out, though.
Yeah, listen, I'll put it this way. If they lose, I expect Bam Adebayo to have less than 20 points.
Well, I'll say this much real quick. No matter who wins this game, I pissed off a bunch of Knicks fans today on social media, basically saying the following: no matter who wins this game, whoever wins this game is beating New York in the first round. Philadelphia or Miami doesn't matter.
All right. Well, see, since you've chosen violence, I was going to start with the West, but let's do this. Okay.
Okay.
Why are the Knicks at risk?
I don't know. Let's do the Knicks and we'll do the other teams. Let's do the Knicks. I'm not knocking the Knicks. I think the Knicks this year has been a phenomenal story. I mean, Tom Thibodeau won me my coach of the year, but he's definitely in the conversation. Jalen Brunson was number 3 on my MVP board, behind Jokic and SGA and Jokic in that order. I had Brunson first in the NBA.
No Luka, huh?
Luka's at number 4. It was 3 and 4 neck and neck.
Granted, I'm not dissing you for it,
right?
But I mean, you're against the grain 100% on that,
right? But again, Luka has a guy that's probably a top 15 player still in the league.
Hey, I agree. By the way, that I would take Jokic over Luka because of how many games Jamal Murray's missed.
Correct. Well, and to be fair, like 1 and 2 is neck and neck. Also, SGA, I have SGA by a smidge, but it's literally like this.
Sure.
I told folks on the podcast for weeks, it's so tight that basically comes on this. Whoever's the higher seed in the Western Conference is winning the MVP. And OKC being the second youngest team in basketball, SGA averaging 30 points plus a game, and doing that, 40 times this year, 30 times this year, 30 plus a game. That's the edge.
So to give you a little credit, something I would normally criticize is what you're doing. But you're doing it in a fashion where I think it's correct. You're looking for a tie break.
Yeah.
And seeding is it. And I don't think anybody out there would think that the seeding of the team is a proper evaluator of a player's value,
Of course, but you also have to when you look at these things too, also with MVPs, you got to weigh a lot of factors. You got to weigh in team expectations for the year started, player expectations for the year started, and then of course how the season is played out. Jokic is still the best player in basketball, without question. We're not even arguing that.
Right. But again, the MVP isn't for the best player. Let's reiterate that.
Right. And again, we're not also doing the same thing. Everybody, all these voters tend to do every year was like when they see themselves in knots. Well, it's just as simple. You're just voting for the best player through an 82-game sample. That is it.
I disagree with
that complicated.
Value is not best. We literally just said that.
Right. But I'm saying, who was the best player through 82 games? That's it. We're not using what he did last year. We own one from last year.
That part I agree with.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
That's if that's what you mean, that's absolutely
right. That's what I'm saying. Right.
For example, and call me a homer if you want. I'm not cheering for the team per se, but since I cover the team, I want them to do well.
Yeah.
Because the better they do, the more awesome stuff I get to see. But
team by Orlando Magic, of course.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Magic. Please tell me why Paolo isn't getting more dap for a team that has essentially been a mash unit. And if you're not Paolo, okay, where's the love for Jamal Mosley doing what he did with a second-year player?
Well,
now,
Jamal Mosley was my number 2 on my coach of the year ballot. Number 2, right behind
that on this show last time. Yeah, I definitely give you props.
Yeah.
Now, if your response is, Kyle, they've finished so bad in these past 6 or 7 games, barely sneaking in at the 5, where arguably they should have been the 4 in this cluster that is the East. Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm mad at you. But let's just say not hearing it talked about at all, dismissed out of hand as if you're like Colin Cowherd or something. But I mean, look, the thing is too also, I think we also don't get no credit for just how deep the MVP this conversation was. Like you have five guys, like the guys you mentioned. Jason Tatum had an opportunity, had also an argument for being in the conversation. There's a lot of guys. So and Trevor was great this year. But I mean, again, it's just who stood out, and these guys stood out in ways that were special. Jason Tatum is the best player on a stacked team. That is not.
I agree with that. Which is why he's number 5, not top 3.
I agreed. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't know that I put him at 5, but I like your logic as well.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So no, all great stuff. But let's get back to it. So, since you opted to make the show about you and your go Heat bitch,
well, I am the guest, right?
Listen, this time you're actually doing it right. Don't take the damn compliment, Cowboys
wink, buddy.
Anyway,
Cowboys fan. Interesting.
Sorry, Chiefs fan. Sorry, Pats fan. Sorry,
Commanders fan. No,
it's Red Tails fan now.
Yeah, there we go. Right, yes, allegedly.
I forgot.
2 years ago was.
Yeah, I forgot that was a plot line in the show a while back. It's kind of like.
By the way, Diet Berry Blend V8. No sugar.
Left Hand Brewery Peanut Butter Stout.
Okay. You win. You win.
Of course, I got to have beer in order to do a show with you. How else do I?
Yeah. You never survive. You never survive.
No, man. So, and that's interesting. The point you make about the Knicks. I'll tell you what I think, and then I'll let you homer up.
Okay.
Because I listen. I think you and I are in agreement. Whoever loses the Heat Philly game, the Heat Philly game, is going to get ousted by Boston.
Right. I'm there. I'm there myself.
Listen, I don't think Himmy is going to do Himmy things the way that he's used to doing. He's just too old for that. I get that Tyler Hero's coming on. Duncan Robinson's health is an issue. Bam Adebayo has impressed me before.
Yeah.
But I don't think they can make it through a series against the Celtics team that will be motivated to show them the door, and an opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and it's less about Miami. It's more about Boston. How better they are. Like if you're telling me that they're playing the same Boston rosters last year, I might think Miami's to win that series probably. But you add a Drew Holiday, who was arguably the best defender in basketball, arguably. You add a Kristaps Porzingis when healthy, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, just like
added with those two J's.
Yeah, just like Kevin Love when healthy is an impact. Oh, wait.
Right. But my point is though, you add those two guys, you basically have I won't call it a super team, but you have four guys who are really high quality NBA players together, and you saw throughout the year how well they played. I mean, there's no secret. This is not a secret how good they are. Like, to me, if they don't win the Eastern Conference this year, at the very least, this is a failure. And every Celtics fan I talk to agrees with me on that.
If they don't make it to the finals,
at least get to the finals is a failure. Look, if they lose to Denver, it is Denver. It's what it is.
Normally, I would tell you that's ridiculous. Let me tell you why I agree, right? Embiid being hurt is a big part of that.
Embiid being healthy is still be Philadelphia.
Oh,
let's be real here.
Oh, you damn roll. Okay. Stop interrupting me so much, damn it.
Okay.
Let me get that because this I got to build this argument a bit, right?
Yes.
Embiid's injury took them out of the number one, right?
Yeah.
They made the single best victory that the Celtics won was in the offseason in the acquisition of Drew Holiday, because not only did they make themselves stronger, they then immediately weakened the Bucks in a way that no one was prepared for. And listen, I even texted you this past Sunday when the Magic won game number 82 to put themselves in position to dodge the play-in.
Correct.
Dame Lillard is good at basketball.
He really is.
He's really trash on defense compared to Drew Holiday. And the Bucks are missing it. This makes them a risk against Indiana because of the ability to play transition basketball, or rather stop transition basketball.
Yeah.
By the way, Doc has not coached against the Pacers as a Bucks coach this season yet. So that should be interesting. Anyways, then who's at fourth? Cleveland has not been themselves of late.
No,
and they battled through some injury issues too. I love Donovan Mitchell. He's maybe looked very smart in the past back when he was playing in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
But is he enough? I don't really think so.
No.
I think Orlando and Cleveland go 7 games. And so now I'm supposed to take the Pacers seriously as a threat for the East? No, at that point, forget about it.
I'll say this much though: Indiana might be the biggest dark horse in the Eastern Conference, though. Because here's the deal: even if Giannis was healthy, I could see Indiana win that series.
Yeah, I'm getting at that too. With Giannis on the floor, he doesn't do anything necessarily stop transition basketball. No. The way you beat the Pacers is you have to take advantage of the fact. Listen, you remember the prom date team analogy? Mm-hmm. They love to score and they can't stop anyone from doing it.
Yeah.
I think that applies.
I think also too, we said this last year before the year started too. Also, when Drew Holiday got traded and was released when he was put on waivers by Portland,
right?
That we were saying, a lot of us were saying this too. Also, that wherever he goes, if Drew Holiday goes to either Miami or goes to Boston,
I would have loved Holiday.
That move would have actually canceled the Damian Lillard move because of what he presents on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
Now, Damian Lillard has been great this year in Milwaukee. Let's be clear about that. But Milwaukee lost something. Their identity, who they've been for the last couple of years, going back to that team that won the finals a couple of years ago, to up to now, they lost something. That identity, their defense was their identity for a long time.
Correct.
And this year it's been everything but. Now, look, Are the Bucks still finals contenders? Absolutely. When you have a guy, the top 3 player in the league still, you have Dame Lillard on the team, it's still a really good roster. The East, it's still good, a little older, but still good roster. I would, getting the conference finals, it shouldn't be a surprise.
People tried to tell me that the
Mhm.
Phoenix Suns were a Western Conference Finals threat last year, and I didn't buy that. I don't buy the Bucks currently as an Eastern Conference final contender. I don't.
So if
I
you
think
don't,
they will beat the Pacers, and then I think they are a fat kid in dodgeball.
so you're saying basically that Boston obviously is the lock for 1.
Sure.
That number 2 spot's wide open. What you're saying?
Yeah, I could even make the argument. I feel like the Knicks beat them right now. I feel like, yeah, because Randall coming back. Granted, I don't think he's as good as Giannis, obviously, but suddenly it seems a lot more complete.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying that the Bucks are going to be there. I'm just saying that higher powers, if they decide to turn it on,
I would be shocked if they made it past round 2. That's what I am saying.
Well, round 2, depending on, I guess that's how the Eastern play-in plays out, because these 2 teams can still make some noise. Obviously, Miami.
No matter what, what I'm saying, no matter what, is that the Bucks are beating the Pacers. That I'm saying that, and I feel brave as hell saying that. By the way,
yeah, no, like I said, it would not surprise me if Indiana wins that series. Honestly, I'm going to pick Milwaukee in that series, but it'll be 7 games. 7 games. The full slate.
Let me go through the teams, and you tell me who they beat. Right? If they played, now they obviously wouldn't play Boston in the next round, but I don't think you think the Bucks are beating Boston. So
no, I think Boston is the heavy favorite in the East at this point. Heavy favorite.
If the Magic were to beat the Cavs,
they will play. Probably winner of Boston or the 8th seed.
Okay, well then the Magic's about to get eliminated. Cool,
right?
And so they're the 3rd seed, so they would play the strong.
We don't reseed in NBA basketball.
Oh, that's right. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. Well, I don't feel like looking at the bracket, so just
I'll help you out with
that. If you have it up, yeah.
No. So Indiana plays Milwaukee. That's 3-6. They'll play the winner of the 2. Well, the winner of 2-7, which will be either one of these 2 teams here tonight.
Let's do it based on according to my prediction, because it's my show and I'm willing to look stupid.
No, that's not a problem. That's not a problem.
2-7 is Knicks.
And Heat/Sixers.
No, I'm saying Knicks Sixers. I think the Sixers win that.
Yeah, I do too. I said it. No matter who's playing the Knicks.
So poor Bucks. Bucks Sixers. Come on. There's no way. I know the Sixers season was over back in October, according to you, but
so it's going to depend a lot on Embiid's injury, because he is a little sluggish today. Now they won 8 in a row coming to the playoffs. So he's got to be healthy.
Before we go too far, here's the assumption I'm making. So
okay.
Question: if he's made it that far to where, without incident, they've beaten the Knicks, let's call it 6 games. He's clearly back and comfortable in 6 games, in 6 playoff games, I feel like. 7 if you count the eventual win here, as I've called it, over the Heat. So with that in mind, I feel like Embiid would be relatively intact, right? So that's where I'm coming.
You would hope so. I would probably still take Milwaukee in that series, but it would be, again, another 7-game soiree. Again. So here's my logic on this. It's more about I need to see Embiid elevate his game in the playoffs. He's been great. Put it this way. If what is clear based on what we saw from him before the injury and after the injury, his last 8 games, is that if he was healthy, he was the runaway MVP.
Sure.
Because he was before he got hurt, and then he comes back and he went 8 in a row immediately.
Yeah,
that's clear.
I didn't bring that up because I pretty much made that assumption, which I shouldn't do.
So right, so we're not sitting there saying Embiid's not a great player. Obviously, he's a phenomenal player.
No,
but the history of Embiid, going back to last year, the year before that, and so on, is that come playoff time, he does show up a little smaller than Mini-Me. A bit. He's not. He does not show up. He does not elevate his game. So I would need to
right. Let's take that. I said years ago that Embiid should have been traded back when the Warriors were dominant, going back that far, when he started showing that early injury history.
Right, of course.
And then I was made to look very silly and then smart all at the same time, But
I will take Milwaukee in that series reluctantly because Milwaukee is playing much better basketball, obviously. But it's not definitely
isn't that obvious?
Well, I mean, since I'm back, but again, the injuries is what really is going to really side that. I'm waiting to see Milwaukee show some, urgency, if you will.
Well, and it's funny. And the post game, talking to Doc Rivers at the Kia Center where I was present with A7BN Sports. Bing!
Bing!
You can check out the YouTube video on the 3-Point Conversion YouTube channel, by the way. Bing!
Bing!
Doc specifically says,
Rivers.
It still sounds wrong. Doc said specifically when asked, what you do to kind of galvanize the team, he basically said, if you can't get motivated, like he essentially was relying on the prowess of the Pacers and what they bring, the challenge they bring to motivate these guys. He makes a fair enough point that if you can't get up for that game, what more can be done?
And he's not wrong because they got a sneaky little rivalry going this year too. Also, they a little bit of heated rivalry between those two teams right now. So to his point, he's not wrong about that.
Right. No, I'm not here to say it was. I thought it was a good point, but the layman, the casual, if you will see that as a cop out. I don't think it is.
Yeah. No, I don't think so at all. I've been critical of Doc for years, but I will say this much though: that comment though is not a comment I actually I don't disagree with at all. I don't.
No, you have been far more harsh on Doc than I.
Oh God, and to be fair, and I'm not even gonna say I'm not to brag, of course, but I was one of the early ones. I wrote a blog back in 2017 calling overrated.
You right?
And for the Clippers. So this is not like breaking news here. I've been saying this since 2017. So
listen, I will grant I have a ton of bias because his playing for teams that I appreciated. I thought with the Clippers, he was he had a lot of bad luck, man. There were a lot of things out of his control.
Yes and no. I mean, there was some things.
Not all of it, but a larger portion than people are allowing him to remember.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, I will say this though, for all the trash we've been talking and me talking about no heat, bitch, and all that. If I'm wrong about tonight's result,
right,
I would pick the Heat to beat the Bucks again.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Bam. If Giannis is as limited as it looks like, for one,
he's probably missing game one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I've heard things ranging from game one to the entire first round. And if it's the entire first round, the Pacers are winning. Let's be clear.
Right.
But yeah, I just who it is. It's Tyler. I feel like he'll be the hero of that series.
Ooh. Funny you said that. He just hit a jump shot here. So yeah.
What can I say except you're welcome?
You're welcome.
Let's do this. So let's go back to the West.
Okay.
I did see the Warriors losing a game. I did not expect it to be that one. I wasn't ready for that.
So let me say this real quick, the Warriors.
Yeah, please.
The only reason I picked the Warriors to win last night was because Malik Monk was out for the Kings. If Malik Monk was healthy, I would have said the Kings win that game.
Yeah.
But this is it for the Warriors, pretty much. They're older. They look uninspired. Teams have gotten better around them. As I said before the year started, the optics around the team did not look good in general.
Sure.
Like Steph Curry is still Steph Curry. He's still great. It's just that Clay is not diminished. Draymond Green, to some extent, is diminished too also. So there you go.
Okay, so and so now that we've stated the obvious, and that's not to make fun of you. I mean, like,
no, of course.
Out there from Dan Lebitard to your mom,
yes,
DJ Christian's mom has made.
Hi, Mama.
Here's what I ask of you: Klay Thompson to Orlando.
I don't see that will work. I mean, again, you got a veteran guy. Want to prove something. I don't know what Orlando's salary cap situation is. He'll probably make. I mean, I imagine it's a fairly healthy cap situation given the amount of young players you have on that team. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. He'll probably get the money he's looking for from a team like that. If the salary is there, of course. But he's not. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, and
Go ahead.
this is why I like it. Paolo, lock him up, obviously. You know,
I said send him to Miami a couple of years, but that's just me.
in year 8 of his career, maybe that happens.
I pissed you off about that one.
You didn't piss me off. I just thought it was ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
What's that?
It's not ridiculous. If he decides I want to leave Orlando, there's no reason to leave Orlando, obviously. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, Homer, shut up. You're wasting.
I'm putting it into the ether. Come on now.
Cool. That's why I said year 8. I'm trying to meet you in the middle.
You're 8. I'll think you're 5, buddy.
He's still only on year 2. I'll take that too. That's fine.
Yeah.
Now, hush up a minute. Let's get to the question, please. For the love of Pete. Jeez, you do interrupt.
Cheers.
No wonder Jim loses his stack. You know, by the way, you know, I find it interesting that he doesn't have a word to say about the officials helping his Capitals get into the NHL playoffs. You're a hockey fan. You know what I'm talking about.
He's playing my Rangers in the first round. I mean, imagine that.
Oh, boy.
That'll be fun. Him and Mikey B.
I hope you two are in front of a hockey TV when we meet up at Disney Springs.
Well, the playoffs start like next week, I think.
Oh, damn it.
So darn.
Anyway, with that in mind, Paolo obviously is doing his thing. I think Franz Wagner is the second guy in a big 3 scenario that would be rounded out by Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson has the opportunity to conclude his career by being the Chris Bosh of a big 3 for the Magic.
I mean, I could see that. The problem is, do you believe, like last night left a lot to be desired. You saw the stat line. It was horrible. Is he still a starting caliber player? There's signs of that. You see that through the year, the signs he can still be
You're
that
asking
guy.
me a question. Is he an upgrade shooting the basketball over anybody else that's not Paolo Banchero or Franz Wagner?
I'll say yes, but you are getting a player that's descending, though, for the record.
Okay, still an upgrade. You're missing it, right?
Right.
This is the same thing. It's not as bad as this. Let me give the Magic roster a little bit more credit than this. But this is the hyperbole example I will use is Russell Carrington Wilson, who is on the decline, is still better than Mason Rudolph in Pittsburgh. Period. Point blank. End of bleeping.
That's a good point. Good analogy there.
Yeah, you know, and that's what I said to Mark Moses on the Mark Moses show today. Another statement I want to make real quick, and then we'll get into more playoff stuff. But he asked me about the Lakers Charlotte playing game. And it hit me right there, and I talked about this with him.
Lakers New Orleans.
Correct. Right. I said Charlotte, excuse me. The Brass, sorry, Pelicans. I hate that name so bad.
I know you do, man. You always say it all the time. Once a year you say it.
Hey, just like I talk about the Red Tails. Sorry. Commanders. If nothing else, EJ Christian, I'm consistent.
This is true.
Here's the thing. The NBA has somehow created a anomaly I can't account for. We have 2, I'm going to use the word dynastic, but clearly dominant teams in both conferences. Name me one. Who is the consensus favorite to win the finals this year?
It's still Denver.
It's still Denver. And who is the consensus favorite to be the other team in the finals?
Boston.
And it's not close on either side.
Right.
Yet, everyone else has so much parity that Denver isn't even the number 1 seed in its own bleeping conference.
And it's all by virtue of a tiebreaker.
Let me hit the punchline for those that aren't in the audience. I know you know what I'm saying. Let me make it hit. They have somehow created the vacuum of getting the dynasties, air quotes, and I know that's not the right word, but just hear me out. Getting the dynasties and favored teams, the empires, if you will, like Golden State used to be, alongside of the parity that everybody else claims they crave. Is that an incorrect statement?
No, I see a point there. I definitely see what you're saying.
How lucky is the NBA, man?
The parity is great this year. And here's the thing too. Also, while I believe Denver's the favorite to win the whole thing,
right?
I will say their trek is a lot tougher. It's a little bit tougher than Boston's, though.
It's because of the West Coast.
Right.
I mean, come on,
right?
The Western Conference, I should say, not the West Coast.
Right. Correct.
You know,
but parity is here. I mean, again, your last like 5 champions: Denver, not in order. Denver, Toronto, Milwaukee. I mean, Golden State, Lakers. It's a pretty mismatch of teams there winning titles. You know, this is what we wanted. Like we got tired of the same old. Oh, every year, the Cavs and Warriors, Heat and Spurs.
You know, you say we got tired of it, but the ratings were there.
People did. Well, the ratings did suffer a little bit too, also, because these games felt very like, no matter what, okay, cool, these teams are cool, but when it comes to comes down to it, it's going to be about the main the Cavs and wherever LeBron's at or whatever, you know what I mean? So, but we're here now. We're at a place now where even though Boston is the favorite, there's still people who believe that they could still lose because Boston still has that.
I think it's a lack of belief in Jason Tatum.
It is. Because, as I told you for the last couple of years, like there's something missing there. Like he's a great player, he's a top 5-ish player, but he doesn't have the dog in him.
Here's the thing: is he though? Like
is he what? Yeah, he's on the fringe.
Would you take? Hold on, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take Jason Tatum over Nikola Jokic?
Hell no.
Would you take Jason Tatum over Joel Embiid?
That's a question.
Assuming Joel Embiid finishes the season, the answer is no.
I mean, again, I've seen Tatum torch Embiid in Game 7.
That's the wrong question though. That's not comparing them. Can I take you one-on-one? No. As far as franchise value, as a guy that can get what you need, Tatum is not that standout guy. He don't have that dog, as you just said. Would you take Luka over?
No, Luka's better than Tatum.
Okay.
That's better than Tatum.
Would you take Giannis over Tatum?
Yeah.
Would you take SGA over Tatum?
I need a larger sample, SGA. I still take Tatum over him right now, but give me a larger sample.
Okay,
it's trending away.
Found somebody and I'm just cranking off top players here. Like you say, he's top 5. I'm not as convinced of that. Would you take Anthony Edwards over Jason Tatum?
Again, same thing with SGA. I need a larger sample, but the way it's going, I like Edwards' game.
I'm sorry. Let's go to Anthony Davis out there in LA. How about that?
Not anymore. AD can't stay healthy. I mean, this year's the first year of his career.
Whole thing. So, were he healthy? The answer is yes.
Yeah, were he healthy, he'd be the best player in basketball. Honestly.
So the whole reason you're taking Tatum is the most boring-ish on the planet, and it's even more boring than Tim Duncan is the big fundamental, right? He's available. That's why
he's available. He's mostly reliable. Like he's played like in Game 7 in that conference semifinals last year. Showed up. Now Game 6 had a shit game to the fourth quarter. Sorry, language. I apologize.
No, we just please no F-bombs.
Game 6 against the Sixers last year, down 3-2. Had a horrible 3.5 quarters. Fourth quarter turns it on. Game 7 in that same series, he scores 51 points. The same game, Embiid and James Harden do not show up. I mean, he's hard to judge because he's a guy that has shown the moments that he can.
He's hard to judge for one reason. You're going to drop all this great analysis, and I'm not knocking that. I'm going to punchline this for you, and you can tell me if you think I'm right or not, and then you can work from there. People are judging him in that fashion, and it's not just last year that the Celtics have been disappointing, but had they gotten beaten by Jokic in the finals, that would have been one thing. Because they lost to the Heat in the fashion they did, he's stuck wearing this reputation.
Right. I agree.
That's where
he's like 5 or 6 for me. Like on my when I did my rankings for
you just said top 5. Don't you dare waffle on me now.
Well, he was number. Let me see it right now. He was number what on my rankings? I have right here. He was number. What the hell is it? There it is right here. I had numbered here. What the hell? Anyway, 5. Yeah.
So how?
It was tough though.
It's the top 5, so it's good. We're okay. We're okay. Yeah. Listen, I get it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I think we've chopped up the East enough.
Yeah. We were in the West for a little bit, but then we
mentioned the West, but let's go to this. True or false? The most important figure in the Western Conference is Jamal Murray. What I'm saying. What's that?
Most important, he's certainly in the conversation.
Because Jokic is going Jokic, and he's going to do what he's doing.
That's correct.
I don't think Denver wins the finals without Jamal Murray.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't think they honestly. If this is speaking earlier,
Jokic, I like that.
If Jamal Murray's not playing this series with the Lakers, there's a possibility the Lakers win that series.
How much of a threat is Dallas? I know Luka is doing great. Mm-hmm. People who think he's the MVP, I'm not mad at them. I get it. They're wrong, but I get it. It's kind of like Lamar Demetrius Jackson as the NFL MVP. They're wrong, but I get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But considering how well Kyrie is not distracting his team, are the Mavs enough to be a real threat?
Given where they're at in the bracket, absolutely.
Walk me through.
So they're 4 and 5, number 5 now in the bracket.
See, there's that 4-5 again. I mentioned.
Okay, so the Clippers, who we don't trust, well, some of us don't trust anyway. Look, I don't. They haven't given us a reason to trust them. I'm not saying they're going to win the series. I'm just saying.
Who do you trust less, the Clippers or the Suns?
Who trust less?
Yeah.
That's a good one, man. I don't know.
How is it not?
I might go to Clippers though, just because of the fact that
interesting.
The recent history.
Okay.
I know KD will show up. I know D Book will. No, he always shows up.
One thing we're not sure of. Actually.
My issue with the Suns is that it's too top heavy.
That's fair.
After you get past the top two guys, okay, Bradley Beal at times. The rest of the roster is kind of. I mean, you got Grayson Allen, but
I do not need the scuba certification for that roster.
But my point is with Dallas though.
Yes,
they're in the 4 or 5 bracket. So let's say the Clippers. That's a 7-game series in itself. They can win that series. They beat the Clippers in that series. They're going to draw either OKC or the winner of Kings and Pelicans. They can win that series too. Against either of those 3 teams. All of a sudden, you're in the conference finals.
Well, especially if Zion's hurt as advertised here.
Well, at this point, Zion's out next game. So that's announced.
I don't think. Okay, without Zion, the Pelicans aren't going.
They're done. They're going to lose this game on playing game.
No, enough of this or this crap. It's the game. Right. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Let's stop. Sitting on the fence, EJ Christian.
Right. So are they a threat? Absolutely. Yes.
Say Kings, King.
Yeah. So I'm saying the Kings to win that game. Are the Mavericks a threat? Absolutely. Because of the bracket where they're at.
Okay. Who eliminates the Mavs for Denver to get the finals or Western Conference final?
Before the conference finals?
Who what is the biggest stumbling block for the Mavs?
Yeah. I'm going to say right now, this current series is the Clippers.
Really?
Yeah. I think because OKC is still so young, there's the fear that, they're the 1 seed. They've had a great year. But it's a whole different ballgame when you're playing a 7-game series when you can prepare game to game. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's one thing to beat a team randomly on a cold February night in Milwaukee, or warm winter day, somewhere in Miami. But when you're doing a 7-game series as a team that can prepare for you week night after night, but there's a lot of adjustments made, of course. It's a little different. Yeah. So I'm not saying he's not going to win the series or 2. I'm just saying that you can't look at the team the same way. Like OKC dodged a bullet last night. Let me tell you why. Had the Lakers lost that game against New Orleans and then won the playing game against whoever they're going to play, they would have drawn OKC in the first round. I'm taking the Lakers in 6 or 7 games.
That is a favorable matchup for the Lakers. I completely agree with you.
You're feeding these kids to LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Even at 40 years old, I don't give a damn how old LeBron James is. LeBron James is still a bad man, jam.
And they're such a long team. No one on that team is short.
They're long. They're veteran savvy. They have a good roster still, and on any given series, again, a 7-game series that they can prepare for this now. They've been there. So OKC dodged a bullet by New Orleans losing last night.
Is there a more disappointing story in the West than Cat getting hurt?
In the West,
because I'm confident that the Wolves are Denver's biggest threat at full strength.
Yeah, because of the size, because of the matchup. That's all it is. It's a matchup.
They
It's a
have
matchup.
great size, and Edwards shows up and provides the great guard play to make it truly balanced.
By breaking news, Philadelphia just won by 1 point. So Philly just won. So you're
No
right.
heat, bitch.
Yeah. 1 point. 1 point. Damn it. No.
I'm a genius.
The size, yes. And this was said last year too by different players. They said their biggest challenge was actually against Timberwolves in the first round of playoffs.
Yeah.
So yes, and the elevation at Edwards makes it difficult too. Now they play Phoenix in the first round, and that's gonna be an underrated series there too. Also, battle different philosophies.
I mean, well, again, Rudy Gobert is still going to be there. That's going to be its own challenge.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of these. It's going to be a lot like Durant with the Nets, because in that scenario, Kyrie was being Kyrie. Harden was hurt. He was trying to take the team on his back. Maybe Durant will score 60. I don't know.
Well, you got Devin Booker though.
What's that?
Devin Booker's still there.
I think Booker gets neutralized by Gobert and company down low, even without Cat. Listen, I dig me some Karl Anthony Towns, but listen, he's not available. It is what it is, man.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I
call the Philadelphia Heat game, right? Am I right there? No heat, bitch.
You're right. I mean, hell, I kind of call that to myself. So
I mean, that's fine. I just like saying no heat, bitch.
I know you want to get at me. That's why.
It's
working.
It would be less fun to say no heat, bitch to Jim Neese, but I don't know. Maybe our good friend Matt Muehlheisen would laugh at it because he's a Sixers fan, and you can tell him
we'll be meeting him also.
By the way, speaking of seasons that are over, no heat, bitch. Anyways,
well, I got one more game. That's the winner of tonight's Chicago.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, you're bidding.
No one cares about that. Chicago and
you're bidding for the right to get crushed by the Celtics. Cool.
Yeah. Annoying.
EJ Christian, tell the world where you can be found, my guy.
You can find me on Twitter/X at EJ Christian 7.
You're a family man. Nobody better be finding you on X.
That's true. I apologize for that. Earnestly Speaking Podcast across all podcast catchers. We're doing a lot of good stuff there. Kyle, you mean Jimmy? We won't at it in a couple weeks after we meet, so that'd be cool to do that.
What pop quiz? Less likely to happen. You meeting us or the Filed for Content podcast?
Filed for Content, actually. So less likely to happen. Filed for Content, that's happening. No, that's gonna happen probably the first week of May. My birthday we'll be doing that most likely. So but you have that. My YouTube page, guys, of course, at youtube.com/Ernest Christian to get all my work. I also have, if you like wrestling too, I have a wrestling retro podcast where you do like discussion points on watch alongs and top 10s and just talking about old school wrestling across the board. If you like that kind of stuff, of course. But Kyle, it's been fun. Had a good time.
I mean, I like it. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like it. I don't watch it as regularly, but I do. By the way, I'm not showing you what it is, but I have something for you.
What the hell is that? Is that Quarantine? Oh no.
No, that's man, listen, damn it. I don't have iTunes up. I can't play Steve Perry right now.
Oh my God. What is that thing? What is it?
I'm not telling you.
Oh. Well, I find out on Saturday?
Maybe. If you show up.
Maybe.
So listen. Thanks to EJ Christian, of course. Thanks to Mickey Delaney in the comments for your excitement as well as always. Of course, I'm Kyle Nash, a student of the game. You can find me on Twitter. Twitter, not X. I am a family man. Twitter. Oh, yeah. By the way, the best. I dropped that the other day with Essex O'Brien and Tokyo Jameson on the Student of the Game pod.
Oh, I got to hear that one. I have it queued up by my listen that one.
Yeah, I did mention that the best Trump impression I know is by a black man. That's a thing that happened. Yes. By the way, it ordered some inside baseball, so you feel better. I had warned both Tokyo Jameson and Essex O'Brien, trained actors that are working, not to use the F-bomb on my pod, and they both did. Granted, you won't hear it because I edited it out, but
and you think I'm the problem.
I mean, I'm trying to make you feel better about yourself, punk. Why are you talking
I know.
Anyways, of course, I'm Kyle Nash, student of the game. You can find me on Twitter Instagram, and Threads at the SOTG. Find me on Facebook as a student of the game. Check out my writings with the Black and Gold Banneret, the Jaguar Report, and the 3-Point Conversion, as well as my work with A7B in Sports, covering the Orlando Magic. And check out my efforts with the 3-Point Conversion iHeartRadio network. There you'll see the Duval Dive on there, as well as oldschool101.com, Saturday 12 to 2, student of the game, and the Duval Dive both present. If you haven't yet, check out my special bonus episode as we talk draft stuff on the Duval Dive with Locked On Jaguars, T. Wiggs, me and Travis Holmes chop that all up. EJ Christian, I would suggest you listen, even though you're not a Jaguars fan yet. I don't know. I'll always leave something in
G Steelio is, though.
GWSCWLIO does appear to worship and pay tribute to the Prince on a regular basis.
Yes,
Right,
yes, he does. He does.
But yeah, listen, good times, my man. Talking some hoop. I hope you're proud of me that I am officially on the Florida radio airwaves terrestrially as an NBA guest over and above.
Unbelievable. All the teaching I've given you in the last couple of years is paying off, man. When you give me a Grammy speech, you make sure you mention my name, okay? Thank you very much.
I mean, I would do that too, but it would only be if I could point to the band so they could play. Anyways, oh man, what a good time!
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hopefully soon we'll do some more huddle ups, off season stuff.
We're coming soon with that. I'm sure. Yeah,
be coming soon. But hey, an honor, joy, and privilege. Until next time, everyone. Class and dismiss.